Hey everyone, it's Brian again for another live stream. Welcome to my 25th live stream. Today is June 23rd. How's everyone tonight? Let's see. Dan says, "Hey guys, this was an amazing episode." Yes, I agree, Dan. I loved episode 2, but it was hard. Oh, wait, are we back? Okay. Hey guys, it's Brian Akeem here. Welcome to my 25th live stream. Uh, yeah, this was an amazing episode, but kind of hard. Uh, I don't know what. So, yeah, sorry. I did an intro, but then my computer just like erased the beginning of the intro and then redid it. Man, I can't. I mean, I'm glad I have this computer, but I hate it too. Like it's just I have a love hate relationship with my computer. Uh, let's see. But yeah, this was a great episode. But man, like I don't know if you guys see it too, but killing walkers is just it's so much harder now. You know what I mean? But yes, I agree, Dan. This was an amazing episode. Let's see. Matt says, "Sup, my guy," and you guys saying hi to each other. Hey, Epic. He says, "Hey, how are you doing?" Oh, wait. Are you asking that to Dan or Matt? I'm doing all right. I didn't have a great day at work today, but I played the episode and it was amazing all over again. So yeah, let's get into the live stream. So, oh yeah, Matt says, "Good to see you all again. I'm glad you're all here. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you all again." Let's see. Dan says, "You too." Epic says, "Doing good." Matt says, "I'll be back in an hour or so. Got to do some stuff. LOL." Oh, okay, Matt. We'll still be here. I think we're gonna go until 10 o'clock, and then that's why we're gonna and that's when we're gonna around 10. We're gonna probably end the stream. So you can leave and come back in an hour. I mean, that's fine. Uh, but yeah, but thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. Let's see. Epic says, "I don't get why Lily hated Clem all of a sudden." I don't think that's a good comment, Epic. But I don't think like Lily hated Clem. I just think. Oh, hold on. My volume. Okay, there I fixed it. I don't think Lily hated Clementine. Think I think that Lily is just so distraught after all of the years into the apocalypse. Cough. Issue 48. But like I just think Lily has changed basically, and so has Clementine. Let's see. And Dan says, "Don't worry about it, man. See you soon." Yeah, don't worry, Matt. If you got to do your show, that's perfectly fine. I understand. It's totally fine. I get it. You have to go take care of that, and we'll be here waiting for you. Hopefully. All right. So the episode starts out with the recap about Clementine and AJ finding the school, and then AJ shooting Marlon. And the episode started with, oh yeah, it started. That's funny. It started with AJ making coffee. Like that was funny. And I'm just like, oh yeah. I'm like, wait, Clementine drinks coffee? Like she's like 16, 17. I'm like, that's interesting. That's funny. Um, let's see. Dan says, "So happy they brought a whisper into it." Yeah, me too, Dan. And like we found out, like before episode 2, we knew it was gonna happen because I think Telltale, they said there was going to be a whisper in episode 2. I think they like told us in advance. Hold on, let me just close this thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, James as a whisper. That's pretty cool. Like, he's a pretty cool character this season. Let's see. Epic says, "In a way, Kenny is the reason why Lily is the way she is in season 4." I mean, yes, in a way, Epic, because I think the death of Larry it like really shaped Lily, like changed her forever. But I mean, so did the prison. I think it's a combination of things. All the years in the apocalypse has changed her drastically. But yeah, so and Dan says agreed. All right, so the episode. Okay, so we get flashbacks. Clementine is thinking back to what happened the night Marlon died, and everyone is like, like, oh my gosh, like AJ, he didn't have to do that, you know, but Violet sticks up for us and just tells everyone to back off. And I really like Violet as a character. Like I remember, I mean, I remember telling. I mean, I guess I didn't think about this from years ago, but Lewis and Violet are. I mean, in a way I did, but Lewis and Violet are definitely I would say the two main characters out of the school cast. Definitely the ones that stick out more. Let's see. Epic says, I find it funny how they brought in a whisper, and the show is dealing with whispers now. Yeah, that's true. Epic. Um, I mean, let's see. I think no, the comic was ending. Yeah, I think we were at the beginning. We were at the beginning of season 9. I think, around the time when Paul died. I'm trying to think. Because this came out. This game came out like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, like around there. So yeah, um, it is interesting, epic. But as far as the whispers, yeah, I cannot wait for the season 10 finale. But unfortunately, until we get it, I guess like the show will always be stuck in that whisper, spot. So if um, Angela King really needs to wrap up the whisper story. Hopefully in the finale, sort of, because um, this Whisperer War is kind of dragging on forever because the finale was delayed, and I hate it. Like, I just hope, man, I cannot wait for COVID to be over. Like, I just don't understand it. People are still, acting like it's the most deadly thing in the world, and I'm not saying not to be careful. Of course, be careful, but just I feel like we should still open up things again. Let's see. Dan says, I gotta admit, season 4 has been my favorite season so far. It's just more enjoyable than the others. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Dan. I'm not sure what you'll think of episode 3 and 4. I think they're really good episodes, but it depends how you do it, or how you play it, and how you perceive the story. Because, like, yeah, episode 2 had, like, action and stuff. And hold on. Epic says, I hated Lewis at the beginning of this episode. He was too harsh to Clem, especially since Marlon was so crazy. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that, Epic, but I also understood where Lewis was coming from, because Marlon was his best friend, and he had a closer connection with him than anyone else. But I started, still liking Lewis again. Let's see. Dan says, yeah, but throughout the episode, he got better. Yeah, I agree, Dan. And by the way, did you choose to go with Violet or Lewis? And I watched the video, or your review, and I assume you went with Violet. Uh, on that, because there's a choice to go with either Lewis and Violet. Like, did you go with Violet? Because I went with Lewis. I always go with like Lewis for things. All right, so back to the episode. So after we get the flashbacks, oh yeah, Mitch, even Mitch too. He tried to start something with Clementine, and he like pulled a knife on her, and it's just so funny. I disarmed him like so easily. Like, Clementine just takes the knife and just drops it on the ground. It's like, really, Mitch? Like, um, I don't know. Like, Mitch was a pretty interesting character, or decent character. He was definitely better than most of the cast in Fear, but like, even Mitch, like, he gets better throughout the episode, similar with Lewis. So after that, AJ is asking Clementine, he's like, am I a murderer? And we get two options to say whether or not what he did was justified, or, not justified. And I told AJ that he wasn't justified in killing Marlon. I don't know if you guys did that same choice, but yeah. Um, Epic says, by the way, Mitch, I absolutely hated this episode. Hated this episode. He was such a jerk. Uh, oh yeah, I absolutely hate it. Okay, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't hate the episode, Epic. I guess that's the way I read it. But oh, hey, DeRosa. Hey, it's glad you came. But yeah, Mitch also was a jerk in the episode, but he got a lot better. Let's see. Dan says, I went with Violet, but just because I like her more than Lewis so far. Yeah, I understand that, Dan. I went with Lewis. And hey, Dan, what did you do with Violet? Like, I mean, I never choose to go with Violet, but I know what happens, and I'm just very curious what choices you made. Because do you remember I told you how Lewis and Violet were very important characters this season? Like, if you know what I'm talking about, like, yeah, I assume you know what I'm talking about. Hey, DeRosa, I'm glad you made it. Let's see. We're talking about season 4, episode 2 of the Telltale game, Suffer the Children. I'm not sure if you played it or haven't gotten the chance, but it was a great episode. Dan says, "Yeah, Mitch was annoying." LOL. Yeah, he was. He was annoying. I mean, the thing is, like, he still had a lot of interesting, uh, moments. Oh wait, oh hold on. Yeah, Mitch was annoying. Yeah, Mitch. He was smart. He made bombs. Like he had his skills. DeRosa says, "Gotta say, I love these streams." Well, thank you, DeRosa. I love doing them, and I appreciate that. I know that I know that my streams, not a lot of people can come because it's like an hour or 2 hours, but a review is much more simple. But I appreciate that. And Dan says hi. You say hi back. Uh, DeRosa, you say, has Dan finished the game yet? No, Dan, he's only done episode 2, and so he's only halfway done with the game. And uh, yeah, he's only done with half of the game. So only episode 2. Yeah, nothing from episode 3 or 4, please. Let's see. Epic says, "Hey Brian, would you ever give me a shout out?" Um, I mean, yeah, I would, Epic. Josh, that's perfectly fine. I can give you a shout out. It's just I don't have as many I don't have as many subscribers as you, or like people who come to my channel, or like okay, like what I guess what I'm trying to say is everyone who subscribes to me, I guess like I'm pretty sure like they also subscribe to you, but I can do a shout out. Like, do you want me to do it in a stream, or do you want me to do it in a video by itself? You know what I mean? Like can you tell me how I never done a shout out before? Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know the first things in a way because even though I've done like almost like well, I've done 25 streams now. Like even though I've done a lot of streams, I still don't know too much when it comes to YouTube about certain things like shout outs. I'm like, how can I do that if I'm a small channel too? You know what I mean? Um, let's see. DeRosa says only one sub away, and you're excited. Yeah, I'm excited too, DeRosa. This guy, I know he recently subscribed to me, and I don't remember his name, but he does like Lego Walking Dead series. Um, but he's not. But he's not official Bricks or Aaron Ninos. He's more of a smaller YouTuber, but he's got some talent. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, I lost track of it. Dan says I've got episode 3 and 4 left, but after that I'll be finished. Yeah, Dan, that's just crazy. I mean, like two more episodes left, and Clementine's story is done forever. Like, there's not going to be anything like else after that. Like, I mean, that's just it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I remember feeling this way. I'm like, oh, only 2 episodes left, only 1 episode left. Like you feel like anxious and all that stuff. Let's see. DeRosa says, "Nah, we have just enough people." Uh, well, kind of, DeRosa. I would say for the streams, I think we mostly have enough people. But for subscribers, I definitely want to try and get some more subscribers, and just I guess more talk in the comment sections like after I publish it. But yeah, but I do want to do a shout out. It's just I don't know how helpful that would be to Epic because he's got more subscribers than me, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys who watch me, you subscribe to him as well. At least I think. Uh, let's see. Oh, and speaking of which, Epic says, by the way, were you shocked at Mitch dying by Lily? I kind of was, but I saw it coming too. Like, um, I guess I wasn't like devastated, but I was just like, oh wow, like that kind of thing. Like actually, she actually killed him, like So I was like that. I wasn't like crazy shocked. I was just like, oh wow, like, that kind of stinks, because he was he was a somewhat interesting character. Like we got to learn Mitch's backstory, why he got sent to school, his skills in making bombs, and a bit of his personality and him starting to accept Clementine into the group. But then he died. Uh, but still, he's a better character than a lot of Fear of the Fear characters. Not Alicia, but like someone like Tom. Let's see. DeRosa says this man, epic zombie killer. I've seen him everywhere. Um, mm, honestly, I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. I mean, Epic has more subscribers than me, but everywhere, I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. Epic says in a video by itself, bro. Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be that Epic. Um, I'll I'll see what I can do. It's just my schedule is kind of I kind of have a busy schedule this week, but I'll see what I can do. It's just but yeah, I definitely want to try. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I definitely want to try Epic. I really appreciate all that you've done for me, and I want to give it a try. Um, but I'm not sure when, but I'll try to let you know. I'll try to get it done. Let's see. Dan says it's saying there's 5 people here. Who else is here? LOL. Yeah, I wonder that. Well, now it says there's four. So I don't know. I'm not sure, Dan, but yeah, if there's other people here, like, I just don't know. Like, uh, I mean, I haven't seen Eastside Badger in a long time. I don't know if you guys have been able to talk to him recently, but he used to come all the time to my streams, and yeah, I'm not sure where he is. I miss him. Let's see. DeRosa says, I wish we could get a season 5. Yeah, in a way I do too, DeRosa, but it would have to be a new character because Clementine and AJ's story, it ends, it's very final the way it ends, and it fits the world and the characters. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Epic says, I wonder why they ended her story in season 4. Um, I think Epic because Telltale probably decided that. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Epic. One, Telltale needed to do The Wolf Among Us season 2 and other sequels to their other properties and other games, franchises that they were doing, and they were splitting themselves up too much. They were doing Batman, Minecraft, Tales from the Borderlands, Guardians of the Galaxy. So they needed to just end one of their stories and then focus on another one, I suppose. They had so many properties, so yeah. I think that's why they did it. They wanted to focus on other things. Let's see. Dan says, they wanted to deliver sequels from with their other projects, and they couldn't do that with Walking Dead still in the background. Dan says, yeah, I don't want it to be over. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan. It's just 2 more episodes, and that's it. DeRosa says, I wish more season 1 characters survive. The same, DeRosa. I agree with that. Although we saw that Lily survived, so I guess we kind of got your wish, but it didn't turn out the way it should have. Dan says, yeah, Mitch's death didn't do much for me, but he also could have survived longer. Yeah, I agree, Dan. He wasn't an amazing character, but he was, somewhat interesting for the story that we had. And I will say his death will do a little bit of, it'll develop some of the other characters. Let's see. Dan says, if only Lee survived. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Although if Lee survived, then we wouldn't get an awesome season 4 like this. So yeah. DeRosa says, I'll be right back. Okay, DeRosa, no problem. Let's see. Dan says, yeah, Eastside has been gone for a while now. I miss talking about me and him being Negan. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, I miss Eastside Badger too. I don't know where he is. Let's see. Matt says, hey bros, I can only chill super quick today. Then I'm gonna bail again. LOL. Oh, okay, Matt. I mean that's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. Dan says, then it'll be the Michonne game. Oh, please, Dan. Please, Dan. I mean, it's just if you play the Michonne game, I feel like you're just gonna be so disappointed. You're gonna see an amazing ending to Michonne, to Clementine's story, in the final season. And then when you play the Michonne game, you, like I think when I played it, I like banged my head against a desk. Like, I feel like that's what you might do as well, because it's just, the Michonne game is just so bad. Dan says, it's okay, man. Glad you came. Yeah, the same. Epic says, yeah, but yeah, season 4, I hated Lily. She was pure evil. And I hated her. Yeah, Lily is not great. I'll admit. I mean, I think originally they wanted to use Krista, but they decided to use Lily instead. And it's funny. It's like Morales, she's like the Morales of the game, but so is Krista. I don't know. One of them is more Morales, Um, but I would say that I'm kind of glad they brought Lily back because that was a very serious loose end. Let's see. Matt says, "Has anyone here played The Last of Us 2 yet?" Um, I mean, I haven't played it, Matt, but I know what happens. I mean, you guys know I don't have a PlayStation 4 anymore because my brother got rid of it, and but I finished I finished watching the game, and it took me forever. It took me 4 days, 4 or 5 days. It just man, it was crazy. Dan says, "I'll be reviewing it this Thursday," and you have a sick emoji. I'm guessing you did not like it, Dan. There were definitely some things I did not like about The Last of Us 2. I mean, we can talk about it if you guys want here, but there were definitely some things I did not like. Matt says, "What an awful game, though." It definitely had some issues. I will say that, Matt. And you say, "I can't bring myself to finish it." Um, yeah, I mean, it's a long game. It is crazy long. It took me 4 or 5 days just to watch it on YouTube, which is an expert playing it. I mean, like, that's how long it is. I mean, it would have been even longer, you know what I mean, if I was actually playing it on my TV. Just, oh my gosh. Um, yeah, so Epic says, "I am super angry that we never got closure on Krista." Yeah, I agree, Epic. I kind of don't like that either. Um, I guess the only thing, I guess it makes the most sense. Krista died back in season 2, episode 1. Those guys in the woods, they probably killed her off screen. That's probably what happened. I know it's not great, but I guess that's what happened. They wanted to bring Krista back, but decided Lily would be better. Let's see. Dan says, "By the way, Brian, what do you think of The Last of Us 2?" I don't think, okay, this might surprise you guys, but I don't think it's a terrible game, but I do have some problems with it. I think there are definitely problems with it. Um, I mean, was it better than Last of Us 1? No, no, it was not. Um, but I will say that it definitely improved in some areas from Last of Us, the first game, but I think the writing was not as good. But everything else, like the graphics and the gameplay, that improved. Uh, let's see. Epic says Joel dying, then playing as Abby that was a mistake. Um, I I don't know. I don't know, Epic. Just that whole thing was just weird to me. Um, the way Joel went out, like I don't know, were they trying to like rip off what happened with Glenn, in the show? And as far as Abby, I can't. Her character it's she's I don't know what it is. It just oh, who am I kidding? I know what it is. It's Abby's just a weird character. Like do you guys know what I mean? She feels off to me, very off. DeRosa says Shane was way better in the show. Um, Oh yeah, yeah, I agree, DeRosa. Yeah, comic book Shane was just uh he went crazy for what, nothing. He wanted to kill Rick for very little. Dan says Shane was the best, but he tried to kill Rick, so still a bit mad at him. LOL. Yeah, I mean, who honestly, Dan, who hasn't tried to kill Rick? Let's see. DeRosa says Dan. Oh dang, they were actually going to bring Krista back. And you ask instead of Lily. Yeah, DeRosa, I'm pretty sure Telltale confirmed that originally it was supposed to be Krista, but they chose Lily instead. And, I'm kind of glad because I wanted to see Lily again after what happened. Krista, I'm like, I don't really care about too much. Let's see. Matt says Rick is now much better than Joel. LOL. I mean, he's alive, so yeah, but Joel's obviously stronger. Um, Dan says Joel's death was terrible. I'm still mad about it. Actually, Dan, like I saw it coming. I just knew they were going to kill off Joel with these new characters, and I thought it was going to be Ellie's girlfriend, Dina, that dies, but no, it was Joel. I saw it coming before it actually happened, like a couple minutes prior. I knew it was going to happen, and um, I don't know, it just felt weird. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised Abby didn't beat him to death. I mean, let's be honest. She has the. I'm gonna say it. She's got gorilla arms. I'm surprised they didn't go with that. I'm just. But yeah. Um, it's just um, I wasn't like crazy upset with the death, but because I guess it makes sense. Like I kind of knew Joel was gonna die in Last of Us 2 even before they started making the game because I just couldn't see what Joel could do in a sequel, I suppose. Matt says they were originally tied for me, but now Rick is way better. Um, yeah, um, Rick is. I mean, yeah, Joel is. I mean, he's a great character, sure, but as far as like Rick level, I don't think he was always. I don't think he was there. Dan says, yeah, Rick will always be better. Epic says, I'm happy they set up a third game at the end of The Last of Us 2. I don't know how, Epic, because I don't know. I don't see where they can take a third game. You know what I mean? Like the sequel, you can do Ellie, which is what they did, but they also split half the game with Abby. Uh, let's see. Matt says Abby needs to meet Negan and Lucille, and Matt says Lucille is thirsty. Yeah. What? Ever since Negan killed Glenn and Abraham, why is like like I don't know. Last of Us has so many coincidences or comparisons with The Walking Dead. Like The Last of Us has taken a lot of. I noticed this. They've taken a lot of inspiration from The Walking Dead. Like certain things are kind of like whoa. They kind of ripped that off in a way. DeRosa says I would be absolutely upset if they didn't bring back a season one character. Uh, yeah, in season four. I guess what are you trying to say? Yeah. And let's be honest. Yeah. Do you guys like? We have so many characters who never came back, like Molly, Arvo. I'm just gonna say it. Arvo, he's got to be dead, right? Like, you guys remember Arvo? He shot Clementine at the end of season two. He's got to be dead by now. Like, I'm just saying, like Lily coming back. I think, like, I don't know if it was Arvo, like I would kind of feel weird about it, but I would be much more vengeful than if it was Lily. Let's see. DeRosa says because bringing back a season one character ties it all together. Yeah, I well, the thing is, DeRosa, Krista was a season one character too, but as far as yeah, as far as like that part, like yeah, the whole connection with Lee. Mega Matt says Negan would destroy Abby. Uh, I don't know, Matt. I mean, which Negan, comic Negan or TV Negan? Because let's be honest, even like Negan had TV Negan had smaller abs, not abs, arms than Abby. Like I'm just saying, like comic Negan, was fit, he was in shape, had muscle. TV Negan, not so much. I'm sorry, guys, but it's true. Epic says, like I will say, I liked how Joel killing the doctor in the first came back to bite him. Yeah, I guess Epic. It's just I didn't really feel for the doctor. You know what I mean? They should have showed that he was actually a good man and that like he actually didn't want to kill Ellie or something like that. You know what I mean? And or like he didn't want to do the surgery that would have killed her. And but Marlene is the one who tries to convince him. Just I don't know. They could have done something like that. Because like yeah, Joel killed her father, but it's like, well, he was gonna kill a child, so I don't know. It's just one of those things. Dan says, can't believe they made us play as Abby. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I mean, for what? Like 60% of the game? Way too much. They said we were going to play as Ellie in the sequel, and they make you play as her for most of the game. Big mistake there. Playing as her a little bit, that's fine, but come on. Not that much. More than half the game, it's too much. Matt says, ugh, Abby. I mean, like, yeah, Matt, I agree. I can't, just something about her. Who am I kidding? It's just the way she comes off. Just, it feels weird. You know what I mean? Abby didn't entirely always feel like a real character. I don't know what they were doing with her. Let's see. Matt says she's the main reason I stopped playing, to be honest. She definitely feels off. I'll say that. DeRosa says, like, honestly, if Lily didn't come back, season one didn't really matter all as much. Yeah, I guess you can say that, DeRosa. But I don't know. They could have brought back other characters, I suppose. Dan says, I pushed through, but I wasted my time. LOL. Oh, are you talking about Last of Us, Dan? Oh man, I gotta catch up. I assume you were talking about Last of Us. DeRosa says Javier was basically useless. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. As far as like the Walking Dead protagonist, he was definitely one of the weakest. Dan says if TV Negan can't kill Abby, then make Beta do it. We know he can do it. LOL. Yeah. Beta can. Yeah, Beta can do it. TV Negan probably not. Um, that's a good comment, Dan. Let's see. Matt says you played the whole thing. Geez, dude, that's dedication right there. Yeah, that is. Dan is very dedicated. Epic says I will stay. Oh, I will say the game had awesome infected designs. Yeah, it definitely did, Epic. They definitely improved on the infected in the sequel. They put a lot of heart and soul into this game, but seriously, not one person was like, "Hey guys, don't you think we're playing too much as this Abby character?" Um, like, you know what I mean? Like they were trying to get us to like her, I suppose, but they can't. Like she's basically she killed Joel, and she just does. She kind of feels like a cardboard character. Plus, she can't compare it to Ellie. Matt says, and TV Negan would destroy Abby. Remember his fight with Simon? I mean, yes, Matt, but I'm just saying, like, for Abby, they clearly show that she had muscle, and TV Negan, I'm just not sure. You know what I mean? If he even has any. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Dan says, I only did it so I can review the whole thing. I should have just watched some recaps or something. LOL. Yeah, that's what I did, Dan. The rest says season 3 was the worst of the whole series. Clem was basically a side character. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. That was a big mistake in season 3. Javier just wasn't that interesting of a protagonist, but it's not just that. He could have been a great side character, but Clementine, she should have been the main focus. Dan says, where on earth is Javier? Like, seriously? Yeah, that's a good question, Dan. I think because so we're gonna get a little bit of answers to that later, but Telltale they wanted as little of season 3 in season 4 as much as possible because they know that fans hated season 3 so much. So like season 4 is its own thing. They said that if you never played season 3, you could play season 4 and not have any problems or questions, I guess. Epic says like those stalkers and the shamblers. Yeah, that was cool, Epic. And so was like the Goliath thing. You know what I mean? Like very cool ideas for the infected. DeRosa says season 4 and 1 were the best. Season 2 they killed off the characters way too quick, and season 3 basically useless. Yeah, oh, I agree, DeRosa. Season 4 and 1 they were great. Season 2 killed off way too many characters, but season 3 improved that. They didn't kill off most of the cast, but the writing was just terrible. Matt says, all right, guys, I gotta go. See y'all next stream. Okay, Matt. I'm sad to see you leave, but I completely understand. You gotta do what you gotta do, and thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And good luck with your show and whatever you're doing. Yeah, so bye, Matt. Take care. See you next time. Epic says, some people think The Last of Us 2 ruined the first game. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. Or I agree with that, Epic. You can still enjoy the first game. Like, okay, so as far as like Last of Us 2, it had, I definitely think the beginning was good, but just the middle and end. I just don't understand what they were doing. Dan says, good night, Matt. Thanks for coming, man. And you say, no, The Last of Us is still good, but the second one was awful. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like worst game of the year, but it definitely doesn't compare to the first game. And yeah, you know what? We should get back to the episode. It's been half an hour. Okay. So I'm playing as. Okay, so when I was playing, I played as Clementine. I talked with AJ about atoning for what he did, and after that, we came to Marlon's funeral, and we did all that stuff, and everyone is just like, man, it's like they're like, oh no, we gotta vote for them. Let's vote for them to leave, I guess. And I thought about this, and I'm like, well, I'm glad that Clementine and AJ eventually come back to the school, because if this was Fear the Walking Dead, then we never would have seen these characters again, because we know how the show does that. But I will say, like, it kind of reminded me of Alexandria. Um, like, I mean, they didn't do this, but I kind of felt like what happened in season 5 of The Walking Dead, like the characters, the way Deanna, she kind of made it sound like they were going to vote for, um, Rick to maybe to leave the community. What happened with him and Pete? You know what I mean? So I got that impression. Um, let's see, because Clem and AJ are the toughest people in the group, and now they're being pushed to leave. Let's see. Epic says, like, Ellie spent her entire time hunting Abby, and at the end she doesn't. It's a waste. IMO. Yeah. Yeah. It happens twice. Epic. She tries to get Abby twice in different parts of the game and doesn't do it. The first time it's because she couldn't. Well, okay. The first time when Abby killed Joel, she couldn't do it because she was, in a weaker position. But the second time she failed, I guess, to avenge Joel. And the third time, I don't know, that felt so useless. What was the point of that third time? Epic says, by the way, I hated how they ignored what Marlon did and were angry at Clem. I agree with what AJ did. Oh, okay. Thanks, Epic, for telling me. Yeah, I mean, I just told them that we're sorry, that AJ's sorry. That's basically what I did, because I wanted AJ to be like, I didn't want AJ to be okay with murder, I guess. Like, I still wanted him to, like, know what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? Dan says, yeah, I literally had to take a break after she kept Abby alive. I was so done with it at this point, or at that point. I don't know, like, Dan, I will say, like, man, the ending, they dragged the game. Like, for the first Last of Us game, like, it was good how it ended, but like Last of Us 2, like, man, they kept that game going constantly. You know what I mean? Like, when I was getting close to the ending, I'm like, okay, can they just please end the game already? Like, I was just like, when a game is amazing, you're like, oh, I don't want it to end. But when a game is very boring or too drawn out, you're like, can it please just end? So that's how it was for me when around the ending for this game. I just couldn't take anymore. I'm like, okay, why is it still going? All right, so okay, so we have we talked to 10 a little bit in Clementine's room, and okay, yeah, so we had the whole funeral thing, and I just hated that. I'm like, really, they're gonna vote for us to leave? But I was thinking, okay, like, we should be good somewhat. Violet's gonna vote for us. 10's gonna vote for us. Ruby, Sim, they're probably gonna vote for us, to stay. And then it's like, oh, you guys have to leave. Like, the majority said you have to leave, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, come on. Like, I thought I made friends with everyone here, from the first episode. Dan says, yeah, it felt like it wouldn't end. Yeah, I agree, Dan. When it came to the ending, I was just like, can it please just end? And that's not a good sign for a game. Let's see. So, yeah, they said we had to leave, and, like, I'll be honest, like, I like Violet and Lewis, you know what I mean? Like, Lewis stood out in episode 1. Violet stands out in episode 2, I think, because, and I will say, like, Violet, like, she's a really cool character. The fact that she just sticks up for Clementine, you know what I mean, and AJ. I wish we had more characters like that in The Walking Dead, you know what I mean? Like, even in Alexandria, like, when Rick's group got to Alexandria, like, I wish we had characters like that who are like, no, guys, like, they're in the right. That's one of the problems I had with, I guess, Alexandria and the show. Everyone there was just so weak. Like, you had Tobin and everyone else. They're just like, oh, no, Rick's group is dangerous. We have to think about ourselves and our families. And I'm like, okay, what are you guys talking about? You don't have any families. And you guys are just being, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like, pathetic, weak, just come on. Dan says, anyway, let's talk about episode 2. I'll talk more about The Last of Us on Thursday anyway. Yeah, thanks, Dan. I appreciate that we're going back on topic. Yeah, I definitely have my problems with the game. Epic says, but yeah, I love The Walking Dead and The Last of Us. They're both awesome. Yeah, they are awesome, Epic. Last of Us, I would say, is the second zombie game franchise, but obviously this comes first. Oh, and let's see. Epic. Oh no, Dan says Violet and Lewis are both great characters. I hope they survive. Yeah, you'll see, Dan. But oh, did Lewis or Violet get taken in your story? Violet got captured in my story. Epic says I always hook Clem up with Lewis. Yeah, me too, Epic. Me too. And Dan, I don't know if you knew um, that you can actually make that happen, but yeah, I mean, um, but yeah, I do that too, Epic. I like I do that every time. It's just hold on, let me just type something real quick. Okay. But yeah, I um I think that I like Lewis. I like Violet too, but as far as with Clementine, I prefer her with Lewis. I suppose just it's my personal preference. So in the episode, Violet is just she's mad at Lewis because she's like, how can you justify banishing them? And Clementine and AJ they have to leave. Um, Oh, Dan says The Last of Us is like the next Game of Thrones. It's awesome at first, but the people just hate it at some point. Um, yeah, Dan, I think it was just the fact that they made us play as Abby for, I guess, like, they bottled off half the game. They made us play as Ellie for the first half, and then the next half, they made us play as Abby. That's very much similar. That's very similar to the bottle episodes Gimple did back in season 7. They showed um, one side of the story and then the next episode the other side and then the other side. They should have showed us a little bit in each part of the game. You know what I mean? Because by the end of the game people are like, what I mean, they're like, okay, yes, we're caught up now to Abby, but they're like, we spent too long on it. um but yeah, Dan, did you know that you can hook up Clementine and Lewis? Like, I'm not joking. um yeah. Wait a second, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to do something. Come on. Maybe this is it. Oh, come on. Wait. Go away. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, whoa. That is way too many. Um, Sorry, guys. My stupid computer. I don't know what's up. DeRosa says, could Rick have really not killed Shane? I mean, Shane putting his gun down. Um, I don't know, DeRosa. I think that. Hold on. What is going on? Oh, that is it. Okay. I'm like, what is wrong with my stupid computer? Um. Yeah. As far as like Rick killing Shane, I think that Rick, yes, he could have spared Shane, but I think Shane would have tried again at some point. Because especially if Judith was born, it just would have been weird. Um, yeah, Dan says he could have tried to kill him again later, though he couldn't take that chance. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense, Dan, and it makes sense that Rick didn't want to take that chance. Certain chances Rick does take, but I mean, Rick hardly takes any chances. But yeah, it's definitely one that I kind of agree he shouldn't have taken the chance on. Um, let's see. But okay, so in the episode, okay, so Clementine and AJ are, yeah. So they're in the woods, they're talking, but Lewis gives AJ back his gun. Um, and okay, so in the episode, Clementine and AJ, yeah, they come across Abel again, and man, like I cannot stand Abel. Like he's just man, like he's like I just man, like okay, he's definitely on like the top most hated Telltale characters. Um, and also his face, he has a very punchable face. I will say that. Um, but and then Lily comes in, and then Um, I chose to just to talk to Lily. You know what I mean? Like I recognized her and I took her hand when she offered it, but when she talked about how Lee and all that, I was just like, okay, Lily, what do you know? I'm not taking advice from you. You know what I mean? Like even though Clementine doesn't know, we do know somewhat what Lily's been doing all this time, and yeah. So yeah. Oh, let's see. DeRosa says true. Oh yeah, about the Rick one. Um, hold on, guys. Let me just. Man, what is up with my computer? Sorry about that. What is going on with this thing? Sorry guys. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Let's see. Is Okay, so the oh yeah, I tell Violet to shoot Lily, and Lily gets shot in the shoulder with a bow and arrow, and AJ gets grazed or buckshot by Abel's shotgun, and I'm just like, oh, man, I cannot wait to get Lily and Abel. I'm just like, um, you know what I mean? And Lewis got shot too. If you guys didn't know, like I told, if Lily gets shot in the shoulder by the bow and arrow, Lewis gets grazed by the shotgun, and he doesn't he gets injured, but he doesn't die. And I'm just like, man, it's crazy. But yeah, we run from the walker. We run from Lily and Abel. Then we run from the walkers. Clementine's killing walkers. AJ is very hurt. And when I'm playing as Clementine, I kill the walkers. And then we come across James. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. I did not expect that. I mean, I knew we were going to see James, a whisperer, but I did not expect him to come at that point. I just thought he was a walker, and I literally was going to stab him, just like any other walker. Um, but yeah, he surprised me. DeRosa says the Walking Dead game got me into The Walking Dead. It definitely helped for me, DeRosa. I would say my brother, my oldest brother, got me into The Walking Dead, and he just showed me it, and I saw the first season. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I want to get into it more, and yeah, so it's pretty much that's how it happened. And then I expanded with the games and stuff. Epic says, by the way, one thing I don't get is how Lee died. She just assumed because Clementine, she's still somewhat of a child, and Lee is not there with her, so she probably just assumed. Dan says Lily knows everything. LOL. She probably just assumed correctly. Oh yeah, DeRosa says she probably assumed exactly. DeRosa. Dan says that's really the only explanation at this point. Agreed. Epic says me. I always choose to tell Violet and Lewis to run away to protect them. Oh, you choose to run away to protect them. Yeah, I chose for. I told Violet and Lewis to shoot. I always tell them that, and so I told them that, and oh yeah, so I'm sorry guys, I'm stuck. Yeah, I tell Lily gets shot in the shoulder, and that would explain why the Raiders take 2 weeks to come back, I suppose, because there was a 2 week time skip. So after Clementine and AJ get back to school, and Clementine talks with Violet, we get the 2 week time skip. Oh wait, Dan says, by the way, in my version, Lewis gets captured. Oh, okay, Dan. Yeah, I assumed. In my version, it's Violet that gets captured, and I will say that, yeah, Lewis getting captured and Violet getting captured, they do different things for the story. I will say that. They're different characters, so we'll see what happens to them, how different the story is, if they get captured, whichever one gets captured. DeRosa says, back then my parents didn't let me watch The Walking Dead. Yeah, the same. Yeah, I've been with The Walking Dead since it came out in 2010. Let's see. Epic says, yeah, so I never read the comics. I got into the comics after the show because I wanted to know what happens. Epic says, the only thing I hated about James is how he kept believing how the walkers still have their past selves in them. Oh, yeah, I guess like the Whisperers. I mean, yeah, he thinks like there's a part of the person that's still in them. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. I admit. DeRosa says I had to watch it on the low. Yeah, the same DeRosa. Um, I had to watch it with without telling my parents as well, and yeah, it was tricky. Dan says Lily needs to get killed by Clem. It better not be the other way around. Yeah, Dan, I agree. Um, okay, so Clementine and AJ go back to the school. Um, Lewis, in my version, Lewis had a injured shoulder, so he carried AJ back into the school. Um, and okay, so after that, we get to talk. Ruby is starting to patch up AJ, give him medicine and stuff, and Clementine and Violet go back in. They go into the room to talk about the Raiders. They're coming, and like Mitch, he comes to and is like, why are they here? And I love how Violet says like, those people are coming to attack us. We need her help. And like I even tell Mitch, I'm like, use your head. If I'm with the Raiders, why would they shoot AJ? Like, why would I bring, it's like if we're with them, why would they have shot him? You know what I mean? It's just but yeah, Mitch definitely was not great at the beginning of the episode or middle, but I guess in the middle to end he got better. Dan says I started watching The Walking Dead in 2013, and I've been addicted to it ever since. Yeah, I've definitely been addicted to The Walking Dead since I started watching, but I've taken it more easier than I used to. There's definitely times where I forget a certain character or a certain scene that happens or how it happened. Because The Walking Dead, it's it's a hobby. It's very important to me, but obviously my faith and family come first. So I've learned to not focus too much of my life on it. DeRosa says I miss Rick. Yeah, me too. Just I mean, like honestly, I missed the show being on, but yeah, Rick definitely had this charisma that I don't know. Norman Reedus, Daryl, he just can't do it the same way. Epic says where I see it, the walkers are undead, killing machines that just want to eat you, and they're not human anymore. Um, yeah, Epic, I agree. But when I was with Ruby and Mitch, Ruby got all upset about Mrs. Martin, because she was a walker, um, and I chose as when I was Clementine, I chose to sympathize with Ruby, and I killed the walker and buried it with Ruby because I wanted to be caring towards her, so that's what I did. Dan says same, he's the best. DeRosa says, then when they said Rick was leaving, I thought the show would definitely end soon, but I'm surprised how good it actually is. Yeah, I will say, DeRosa, it's definitely better than it's than I thought it was going to be, but is it better than it could be? I don't think so. It's a shame that this whole finale thing is. I wish the finale was not delayed for so long. But as far as like Rick leaving, yeah, Rick leaving did not kill the show, but I will say that the show definitely needs to do something. It definitely needs to pick up some steam again because we might be at our last season or so. Dan says if only we could see that Rick movie. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I don't know what's taking so long with the filming. They really got to start on it. Dan says, same, I thought it was over, but they proved me and others wrong. And you say season 9 was amazing. Yeah, it was, Dan. Could it have been better? Yeah, season 9 definitely had mistakes, but it was still one of the best seasons. DeRosa says, Daryl is a great character, but he can never fill in that leader role that Rick did. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. Daryl's great at like supply runs or hunting or tracking people. But as far as like giving speeches, he just doesn't have it. Uh, Dan says Rick will always be the best leader ever. I mean, yeah, I understand that, Dan. He definitely made mistakes though, but honestly, every leader did. I mean, Negan made a ton of mistakes. Epic says maybe we'll get the finale in July. I sure hope so, Epic. I really hope so. That would be nice. Um, okay, so oh yeah, so Clementine goes with Mitch and Ruby to the greenhouse to get barbed wire and any supplies for the raid. And it's funny, like Mitch was like, "Hey, why don't we send Clementine in? With the ladder in the roof, like the hole in the roof." And I'm just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I did not even give an excuse. Like I did not say anything to Mitch except, okay, I'll go. And even Mitch was like, what, really? You know, like you're not gonna argue with me, you know, kind of thing. And like because in season two, when the characters try to make Clementine do things, I'm like, okay, come on, like why me? I'm the kid. You guys are the adults. But here in this story, it makes so much sense. It's so much better because Clementine is just as old as they are. You know. Um, let's see. Dan says I have a feeling it could be in October, but I could be wrong. Oh boy, Dan. Yeah, I hope it's not in October. That is way too long. DeRosa says I was looking forward to the end of season 10. Yeah, at this point, DeRosa, I just want to get to that finale and just like end it. Just and it's crazy, but like after that finale, then we'll have to wait just as long, if not even longer, for season 11, and it's gonna be like, oh, it's just gonna be terrible. Um, okay, so after the whole barbed wire thing, Clementine um, goes back to AJ's room or their room, and AJ's there sleeping. And AJ can get new shirts and stuff. Uh, and yeah, we're talking with AJ. Lewis comes in, and yeah. Dan says, "Agree, Brian. Every leader makes mistakes, but honestly, I personally agree with all of Rick's decisions." Um, Wait, but I'm confused, Dan, because I thought there was some decisions you didn't agree with. Because if Rick made if Rick made mistakes, then you couldn't agree with all of his decisions. You know what I mean? Um, I would say I agreed with at least. I would say I agreed with three-quarters of Rick's decisions, but Rick definitely made some big mistakes. Um, they definitely underestimated Negan and the Saviors, and they should have kept a Savior captive from the outpost. They should have done that. Rick should have. What else? He should not have trusted the garbage people. I knew they were a bad idea, and he should not have tried to drive away a sim. A sim. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. See what I mean, guys? I make mistakes. He should not have tried to drive away Sadiq. He shouldn't have done that. Like I knew that was a wrong decision. And sure, you could say that. Well, we know it's Sadiq. Yeah, but look what happened with Dante. Dante was good in the comics, bad in the in the show. So I'm just saying, like, what Rick did with Sadiq indirectly killed Carl. You know what I mean? And then Rick and Morgan killed those saviors in that bowling alley. Besides Jared, they all did not deserve to die. You know what I mean? So that's definitely another mistake Rick made. Like, so those are like my main issues with Rick, I suppose. Like the main big decisions. But everything else, like, is pretty much good. All right, so we get the 2 week time skip. Clementine, she goes Kevin McAllister, on that map of the school and makes all a bunch of traps and stuff. The characters are. Oh yeah, Dan. I don't think you talked about this in your review, but we get the nightmare with Clementine at the ranch. Remember that? Clementine is sleeping and AJ is missing, and then Clementine goes outside the room, and we see, we hear like crying, screaming. We see fires everywhere. You know what I mean? And everything's all creepy. You know what I mean? Like Clementine was having a nightmare, and after she wakes up, AJ says, "Is it about the ranch?" You know what I mean? And like I won't tell you what happens, but do you remember that part? Like, did you have questions about it? Uh, all right, so um, oh yeah, and I love AJ in episode 2. Like, can we talk about AJ for a little bit? Like, he is so awesome, like a kid. You know what I mean? He's such an awesome character because I just love how he's like, how do you say it? I think it was like, I could, I wish I could stay up forever. Probably could, something like that. And I was just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, man, like, I just love how serious AJ is, but also it's like, that, he's not entirely thinking straight. Dan says, the only things I disagree with is the whole savior thing. And like you said, the Carl death thing. But if I'm being honest, that's the only problems I have with him. Yeah, Dan, I would say like I have like maybe 3 or 4 problems with Rick's decisions. I mean, keeping Negan alive, I'm like mixed. You know what I mean? But should he have killed Negan? Yeah, but it's not like a big problem. Let's see. Epic says, like, imagine Glenn in season 10 and Maggie was gone. How tough he'd be. Uh, oh man, Epic. Yeah, that would have been awesome. Like we could see Glenn with 8-year-old Herschel. You know what I mean? Um, Glenn as the leader of the hilltop, and yeah, Glenn. He would definitely be like a tougher, like character. Like he would be like tougher than Jerry. Um, I don't know if he would like have a beard or something, but yeah, Glenn would have been amazing. Like we could have had something really cool in the show that we never got in the comic. Like Glenn is, you know what I mean? Like Glenn is more serious. He like wants to get rid of threats. You know what I mean? But he's not like he also cares about the people's safety, that kind of thing. That would have been awesome, Epic. Dan says, I wish Glenn was still alive. The show would be so much better. Yeah, I agree, Dan. And I'm very curious. You don't have to tell me now, but I'm very curious for your season 7 rewrite. I'm very curious to see if how you would have done the whole Glenn thing. Like, would Glenn still die in your version of season 7, or would he survive? Because I know for a fact in my version that I've rewritten, at least in my head, of season 7, Glenn would definitely have survived. Let's see. DeRosa says, what if Rick, Carl, and Glenn were still on the show? The Walking Dead would be. Oh wow. Hold on. Let's see. That's hold on. Wait. That's 1,000. That's 100. No. That's 100 million. Yeah, you're saying 100 million times better. Yeah. You know what, DeRosa? I think I agree with you. Having Rick, Carl, and Glenn, I agree with that 100%. I think that having Rick, Carl, and Glenn on the show would be 100 million times better. I don't know if we would still have Rick though, because Andrew Lincoln might have wanted to leave. But if we had Glenn and Carl, I think I would have enjoyed that a lot more than Daryl and Carol. Um, I think I would have definitely enjoyed that more. And Carl, Glenn, Daryl, and Carol, like, you know what I mean? Those four, man, that would have been awesome too. Dan says Negan got a chance to redeem himself because of Rick and also Carl, if you think about it. Um, yeah, that's true. That's true, Dan. And that's, you know what? I'm not going to talk about Last of Us. Um, like, there's certain ways you do redemption characters and there's certain ways you don't do them, you know? Dan says it would. Giuseppe, yeah, it would. And you say, DeRosa, you say, yeah, but Rick and Carl are both way better than Negan. I think Negan was more interesting than Carl, but he definitely should have survived more than him. Dan says, I don't want to spoil my rewrite of season 7, but I will say you will be happy with the story. At least I'm pretty sure you will. Well, thank you, Dan. I'm glad to hear it. I can't wait to see it, but I will be patient. I won't ask you. I won't try to, have you slip anything up. Kind of like how the fans had Lenny James slip up that he was going to survive that he survived the season 5 finale. But honestly, like, yeah. Epics, you say that's what I don't get is all the way through the show they swapped character deaths. They give Herschel Tyrese death, they give Tyrese Morgan death, and yet they keep Glenn's death the same. Yeah, I don't get that either, Epic. I mean, they switched they switched Herschel and Tyrese, and they gave Tyrese Morgan's death, and Morgan they decided not to kill off. And I think there's another character. Oh yeah, Denise. They gave Denise Abraham's death. Just I don't get it. Like, why did they do that? Why did they keep Glenn's the same? Because that was one from the comic that they should have realized that, hey, this might not work the same way in the show. DeRosa says, because I knew it was not going to work the same way. DeRosa says, what if Daryl left instead of Rick? That's tricky, DeRosa. Do you mean leave the show or like died? I will say that I think that I will say that I think, you know what? I think the show will be a little bit better with Rick, just because. Don't get me wrong, Daryl's great, but he just, as far as comparing to Rick, he just doesn't have as big of a fan base. I think that Rick was more popular, and sure, some people will say, well, Daryl was rated number 1, but I don't think so. I think that in the long run, Rick, carries the show. Dan says, I would have preferred that, but I like Daryl too. Yeah, the same, Dan. I don't hate Daryl. I just think that Rick, I think there would be more of an audience with Rick. Let's see. DeRosa says Carl was supposed to be the leader. Yeah, I agree with DeRosa. Just, I don't know why that happened. Oh, Epic says you skipped my comment. LOL. Really? Um, hold on, Epic. No, I read the one about the Glenn's death. Yeah, are you sure? Wait, are you sure, Epic? I don't see where I skipped it. Can you retype it? I'm sorry, I don't see it though. I could have sworn I got it. Dan says, "Yeah, Lenny really messed up with that one. He definitely did, Dan, but it's not like they can fire him. Imagine Lenny James being like, 'You're right, I slipped up. Why don't you fire me?' Like he would just beg them. He would be like, 'Go ahead, fire me. I dare you.' And the writers of Fear would be like, um, they would be like, we can't. The audience is already at our throats, you know." The roast. Oh, dang it! The chat went up. Morgan, DeRosa says Morgan should have stayed on the regular Walking Dead. I think he should have died instead of Carl, but yeah, he definitely should have stayed. The only person who should have left in Fear is Dwight because the actor had to leave. That is the only character that should have left. Epic says they should have had Abraham takes Glenn's death and have Glenn survive. Glenn live longer. Yeah, I agree, Epic. Or they could have, or like, or even like I mean, personally, to me, I would have preferred Glenn over Daryl, but yeah, just either one of those would have been better. Killing off Abraham and Glenn, just big mistake. Yeah, I mean, Abraham was a big enough character to get that death. And if some people were like, oh no, Negan's not big enough of a threat, then Negan could kill off another character. You know, they could kill off Abraham in All Out War or just something. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, they could just fix that later. Doing two deaths like that, you know, it's too much, especially when you come back. Dan says, yeah, Morgan is better on The Walking Dead. I agree. Let's see. DeRosa says, now Negan, Daryl can carry the show for me. Uh, wait. DeRosa, wait, what are you saying? Now Negan, Daryl can carry the show for me. Are you saying not Negan? Sorry, I'm kind of confused. Epic says, I love talking about the Walking Dead universe with you guys. Well, thank you, Epic. I love talking with you guys too. You guys really make this special. Thank you. But I would like to, if we can, I really want to get back on topic. DeRosa says, Carol survived way longer than expected. Yeah, she definitely did. Definitely. Dan says, same. I just don't like Carol anymore. Oh, hey, B&B Brick Studios. He says hi. Hey man, how's the Lego series going, or the Lego Walking Dead series going? Um, I hope it's going good. Um, yeah, but thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to my stream. I really appreciate it, and thank you for subscribing to me. I appreciate that as well. Um, let's see. DeRosa says I would have rather had Morgan die instead of Glenn. Oh, Glenn. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. It's really hot in my room. I would have had Morgan die instead of Carl. Yeah, the same DeRosa. I mean, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, that I make mistakes when I'm talking. It's really hot in my room, and it's pitch black in my room right now. So I gotta turn on another light source. Dan says, yeah, Carl is a better character than Morgan. Um, yeah, I agree, Dan. I think like Chandler Riggs, obviously he's not as good as an actor as Lenny James, but as far as the character, I think the character is more important. One second, guys. I gotta turn on some light. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Um, yeah. Hey, BB Bricks, B&B Brick Studios. Have you watched all of Official Bricks and Aaron Nino's videos? Are you caught up with their Walking Dead series? I'm just curious because I am, and yeah, I really enjoyed their series, but it's a shame that they're going to be taking a break. Let's see. All right, so okay, so what happens? So I'm playing as okay. So back to the episode. I'm playing. So when I was playing as Clementine, I chose to get everything ready in the school. Oh yeah, and Willie and Asim were arguing about the whole trap thing, and I chose to go with a Sims trap because you know, a duffel bag full of bricks just makes so much more sense than a log, and this episode was like very Home Alone. Like I just did you guys notice that? Because like I feel like this is like Home Alone, but rated M. You know what I mean? Let's see. Epic says, yeah, Morgan should have died in season 8. Then that pathetic cliffhanger in Fear season 5 wouldn't have happened. Um, well, yeah, probably Epic. I don't know. It's just Morgan is a character that he can die, and I'll be okay with as long as the death makes sense. And they're definitely not writing him well. And the death, if he died in the season 5 finale, that would have been terrible. But I will say, like, I don't know. It's just the fact that Morgan can never return to the main show. It just stinks. Morgan definitely should not have left the series. You know, Lenny James, he shouldn't have left the show. They should have kept him back. Morgan in season 9. That would have been pretty cool. Dan says, yeah, the cliffhanger was so bad. It's like we all know he's going to survive. Yeah, Dan, I agree. I mean, plus the trailer, they got to show it. Epic says, by the way, love Clem's hat. It's up there with Rick's sheriff hat. Both are icon. Oh yeah, iconic. Yeah, I agree. Epic. Clementine's hat is iconic. And like, I'll be honest with you. Like Clementine, I think she's tougher than both TV and comic Carl. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I think that Clementine is a better character than the Carls that we've had. Like Clementine is up there. You know what I mean? Like I love the part in there when AJ and Clementine are in the room. I love the part how I say I tell AJ that, like, you know, he's the toughest kid I know, and AJ's like, but I'm not as tough as you, and Clementine says, well, no one's as tough as me, and I'm like, that just makes me smile because I'm like, you know, I'm just like, it makes me so proud of Clementine, but also I'm like, you know, that's so true. Like Clementine really is like one of the toughest characters in all of the Walking Dead franchises and properties. You know, like, could Clementine beat Ellie in a fight? Probably not. But she's definitely, I think she's tougher than, you know, comic and TV Carl, you know, and she's up there with the top characters like Michonne, Andrea, Rick, Negan, Daryl. Like, Clementine is up there, you know what I mean? Dan says, crazy how the hat has gone from Rick to Carl and now Judith and maybe RJ in the future. Yeah, I agree, Dan. And by the way, I think in your review for episode 2, you said RJ instead of AJ. I'm not joking. I could have sworn you said that, but I didn't. I was at work and I didn't have enough time to mention that in the comment section. But yeah. Let's see. Dan says, I agree. Clem is way stronger than Carl. Both versions. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for agreeing with me, Dan. Yeah, I mean, just it's crazy. I just yeah, Clementine is definitely, you know, yeah, she's tougher than both Carls. DeRosa says, can you do a top 10 characters of all the Walking Dead characters, counting games, comics, novels, and shows? I could do that, DeRosa. Yeah, I can definitely do that if you guys want to see that. As far as like top 10, like, do you mean like my personal favorite characters? You know what I mean? Like, would I have to include comic characters or TV? Okay, like if I had, like, if I liked comic Michonne and TV Michonne, would I say them both, or would it just be Michonne, comic, and you know what I mean? Like, how would I count that? But yeah, if you guys want to see that, I can definitely write it on a piece of paper and do a top 10 Walking Dead characters, like my top most loved characters in all of the franchises. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion, DeRosa. I'll think about it. Let's see. Epic says, well, Comic Carl is definitely more damaged and crazy than Clem. I mean, yeah, I guess you can say that, Epic, but yeah, but I think like Clementine is obviously tougher. You know what I mean? Clementine she's been through just as, I think she's been through just as much. As far as crazy, I guess Clementine was not ever crazy, but yeah, you could still kind of make Clementine do crazy things. Like, she could watch Carver getting beat to death. You know what I mean? So yeah. DeRosa says you can do double characters. Oh, okay, DeRosa. So you mean like, let's say number 1 is like comic Rick or TV Rick. You know what I mean? Like, they're both in the number 1 spot. So yeah. If you guys want to see that, you know, I'll definitely after this stream, I gotta write it down so I don't forget. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Oh yeah, I just said that. DeRosa says like comic Rick and show Rick. Wow, that is crazy, DeRosa. I just mentioned that and I just looked down and there your comment was about comic and TV Rick. That's crazy. But yeah, I'll do it if you guys really would like to see it. If you guys would be interested. But yeah, Epic says Comic Carl took a bullet to the eye and lived. Clem didn't. I mean, okay, yes, Epic, that is true, but Clementine has been through a lot, and okay, I will just say like maybe we should wait until the end of maybe Dan. Okay, let's wait until the end of the season before we discuss this again to fully say whether or not Clementine is tougher than Carl or more damaged. What anything like that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to see an eye patch Clementine. It looks good on Carl, but not Clementine. Dan says you should definitely do a top 10 list. They are very fun to watch. Well, thank you, Dan. I'm glad you think so. I definitely I definitely need to write down a shout out for Epic and top 10 best characters in the franchise. I definitely think I should do that. But I don't want to make it similar to your list, which I think I've seen. But yeah, I definitely should write that down, and I definitely should get to work on it when I get a chance. DeRosa says you can do that because Comic Rick and Show Rick are completely different. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, DeRosa. I think the thing is there might not be like any comic characters. It really depends. As far as the novels, there will be no novel characters. I hate the novels. I cannot stand them. Dan says one has both hands, one doesn't. Yeah, that's a good. Also, one is dead and the other isn't. But yeah, Dan, that's a good point. DeRosa says, like an example, Rick. Like an example, Rick. You mean Rick Show 2? No, Rick Show 1, 2 Comic Rick. Oh, okay, DeRosa. I get now what you're saying. Yeah, that's going to be tough to do because I would have to say a TV character instead of a comic character, probably. It's kind of tricky, but I'll see what I can do. Epic says, my version, Comic Rick, is better than the show version. That's interesting, Epic. I don't know. I think I like the show version more. Dan says, I disagree. Andrew Lincoln is the man. Yeah. Oh, and Negan. This is tough to say. Do I like TV Negan or comic Negan more? I don't know. This might be tough. Maybe like comic Negan. I have no idea. Oh wow. DeRosa says what? Epic. Yeah, I did not expect that. Let's see. DeRosa says Andrew Lincoln is Rick Grimes. I can't see another actor playing Rick. Yeah, can you guys imagine if it was the actor playing Carter? Carter from season 6, who appeared and died in the same episode. I mean, he tried to challenge Rick and died. You know what I mean? And he got killed by a ninja walker. Oh boy, if he was Rick. Dan says, I love comic Rick too, though, but TV Rick is my favorite. Yeah, the same, Dan. Let's see. Epic says, I'm just saying comic Rick is a better fighter. IMO. Yeah, I don't know. How is he a better fighter, though, Epic? Because he has got one arm. Like, I don't know. But yeah. Dan says, yeah, it's Andrew Lincoln or no Rick at all. And you say, I'll tell you that he actually wins fights in the comics. LOL. Yeah, that's true, Dan. That's a good one. DeRosa says Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just as good as Negan. I don't think so, DeRosa. I think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think he could have done better with the Negan character. I really think so. Dan says, but Rick is gonna have to. Oh, you said half, but you mean have to fight his way out of the CRM. Yeah, that's true, Dan. I don't know. I don't know what's taking Rick so long. It's been 7 years. And you say, Dan says, yeah, I like TV Negan more. Yeah, I had a feeling you would. DeRosa says, if you had to replace Rick with a different actor, who would you pick? Obviously you can't, but I'm just curious. I have no idea, DeRosa. That's tough to say. I will say that I would definitely choose an actor who looks more like comic Rick. Oh, wow. Hold on. Epic says, I think they're both amazing. Yeah, and SSJ King Ken. Hi. Hey, King Ken. I haven't seen you in a while. I think that I think you came a couple months ago to my one of my live streams, but hey, it's good to see you. Um, if you have a comment, just ask me a question and I'll answer it. Let's see. DeRosa says, I disagree with you, Brian. Jeffrey D. Morgan plays an amazing Negan. Uh, yeah, I think that he does a very good Negan, DeRosa, but there's just a few problems I had with Negan in the show. How they did Negan for most of season 7 and 8, and the fact that Jeffrey D. Morgan is just so skinny. Those really, I guess those really hurt my, um, you know, uh, like how much I like Negan. I guess that hurts my enjoyment of Negan. Let's see. Dan says I can't just pick anybody. I just can't pick anybody else, to be honest. Yeah, the same, Dan. I would definitely choose an actor that looks more like Comic Rick, though. If I had to pick, I don't know. It's really tough to say. As King Ken says, I see some familiar face in the chat. Yeah, I'm glad you came. I didn't expect you. Dan says Andrew Lincoln is it, and Epic says, by the way, Rick was originally gonna appear in season 1 of the Telltale Walking Dead, but it got cut. Yeah, I heard that too, Epic. I remember looking at Dom the Bombs. Yes, I know that's his YouTube name, but yeah, that's his name, and he showed pictures how there was concept art for Rick, but I guess they couldn't make it work. You know what I mean? Like, how would they make it work into the story? It would kind of contradict the comics. So, yeah. King Ken says, okay, I will turn on notifications. Oh, okay. Great, King Ken. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. So I'm trying to think what happens. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So back to the episode real quick. I just want to tell you guys what happened. All right. Okay, so in the episode when I'm playing as Clementine, I practice, bow and the bow and arrow, a little bit with, talk to Lewis, and I choose to forgive him or whatever, and eventually I choose to go at Lewis, and in the choices I make, I choose to hook up with Lewis, and that's crazy. After that, I talked with AJ. He beat me in the rock paper scissors, and the Raiders attack. That's pretty much it. Goes pretty much the same. The Raiders attack, and people get taken. Violet gets taken, and we see at the end that Abel is been captured. Let's see. DeRosa says, yeah, but comic Negan, show Negan are completely different people in my eyes. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. I would say I think I enjoy comic Negan more. Let's see. DeRosa says also, I feel like show Negan is smarter, but comic Negan is stronger. Yeah, I feel that too, DeRosa. I would say I think I did enjoy comic Negan more, basically from what I got. Dan says, yeah, one of them can swear. One only swears on Blu-ray. LOL. Yeah, only in the season 6 finale though. Dan, do you remember how they AMC and Scott Gimple, how they said we were going to get uncensored Negan in season 7 and 8, and they never delivered that on the Blu-rays? I mean, what was that about? They lied to us? I don't get it. DeRosa says, yeah, Don the Bomb is a huge Walking Dead fan. Yeah, I know DeRosa. I watch his videos constantly. He's awesome. And he's a big Walking Dead YouTuber. And he's a great guy. Dan says, even though he didn't swear on the season 7 and 9 Blu-ray, LOL. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Yeah, that's true. And I mentioned that earlier. I don't get what happened, if they lied to us or what was going on with that. Epic says, I find it crazy that Lee was going to the same prison that Rick and them were at the comics. Yeah, that is crazy, Epic. It's just, how are they going to fit Rick in the game, though? That's what I'm wondering. And I think they were going to fit the governor, too, in season 1. Like Clementine and Lee, they were supposed to, at some point, meet the governor from the comics before he meets Rick's group. But that never happened. DeRosa says, that's crazy. Didn't know that. I knew it since the first season, actually. DeRosa, so a long time I've known that. Dan says, I know, right? I kind of wish he went to jail so we could have seen it. That would have been cool. Rick and Lee meeting face to face. King Ken says, show TV Negan is more funny in my opinion. Yeah, I think he is. I think so too. But as far as which character is stronger, like as a character, I think that it's comic Negan more. Um, let's see. DeRosa says that pissed me off because I wanted to see Negan cursing. It wasn't a big thing for me, DeRosa, but I just didn't understand why they kind of lied to us. You know what I mean? King Ken says, "Did you hear about Negan Lives?" Yeah, I heard it. Don't worry, King Ken. I heard it. I hope to get it when it comes out. DeRosa says, "Which is the best Walking Dead DVD cover?" I have no idea. Walking Dead DVD covers. Let me look this up real quick. Hold on. Let me go on cover gallery real quick. Sorry. I'll see if I can get to yours in a minute. But yeah, that was pretty much it for episode 2. Suffer the Children. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll get to you, DeRosa. I'll answer that. Dan says, "Me too. I wish they were able to curse on AMC. I don't know what was up with that, Dan. I mean, they could show people getting eaten, but not have swear words. I don't know. That's weird." King Ken says, "Do you guys think Lily for the game is the same Lily that killed that? Oh, that killed. You said kill Lily. No, you mean Lori and the governor in the comics. Yes, absolutely, King Ken. I think it's the same Lily. Now, I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, oh no, Robert Kirkman said they're different Lilies. But he only did that because he got caught in a scandal. He sold the rights to the Lily character to both Telltale and the novel people, and he screwed up. He made a mistake, and because of that, he had to do something, or otherwise there could be like lawsuits or something. And he said that, oh no, they're two different Lilies. You know, he said that Lily in the game is not the comic one, even though that's what they originally intended the first time. They wanted to show Lily's backstory from the comic. I mean, just it's the same Lily, King Ken, but Robert Kirkman and some people they'll say no, it's a different Lily. But there's too many coincidences between the Lilies, and it's got to be the same one. It's just got to be. It explains so much, and it feels within character. The Rosa says Rick Grimes is the face of the Walking Dead series as a whole. Yeah, I agree. Epic says because they mentioned Thomas, the guy that kills Herschel's two daughters, and that cop car Lee was in. Yeah, that's true, Epic. Although I don't think, in my personal opinion, I don't think Rachel and Susie. In a way, I don't think they were 100% Herschel's daughters. Because they never. Herschel never refers to them as his daughters, or Maggie. She never says they were her sisters, or even Billy. He never says they were his sisters. He says the Green family. They talk about their family constantly, but they never once mentioned they were, blood related to them. So I don't know. I think they were just like kids from like neighbors or something. Dan says something about season 3 cover is just amazing. Yeah, I agree, Dan, and I gotta look that up. Where is the cover? Hold on. Where is the? Dang it! Hold on, guys. I'm looking at the TV covers right now, or actually, I'm looking at the comic covers, but I'm trying to get to the TV ones. Where is the TV ones? Okay, thank you. Right here. Okay. Oh man, they're all so good. I don't know. Okay, guys. I think I liked season. Okay, you know what? Out of all the TV posters, season 1 was awesome. Season 2 really good, or like the first part. But yeah, season 3 part 1 was really good. And you know what? Yeah, I'm stuck between season 3, the first half, and season 5, the second half. Those were amazing covers. I did not like the other ones, like season 6, not great. Season 6 part 2, too much. Season 7, you guys know how I feel about that. So at the Rosa, I would say that my top 2 are the first half of season 3 cover for the DVD and the second half of season 5. Those are my favorite. Oh, hold on, guys. I'm falling behind. And I got to wrap up the stream soon. Not yet, but like 10, 20 minutes. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, Dan says something about season 3 cover. Yeah, that was amazing. The second half cover with just Rick and the governor, I didn't like it as much. Epic says, I wonder how that new Negan comic is going to affect the show. I have no idea, Epic. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think it's going to have much of effect on the show, to be honest. Dan says season 9 is great too, though. Um, I mean, yeah, Dan, I agree. It's pretty good, but um, I mean, we never see that, so I would say it's like maybe third, but I think this season 3 and season 5 one's better. Um, because the season 1 cover kind of looks like we never really get to see that. You know what I mean? So it just looks kind of Photoshop to me, I suppose. Um, I guess what I'm trying to say. Let's see. DeRosa says, for me, season 3 is the most iconic Walking Dead season. Um, that's interesting, DeRosa. I honestly don't know what is the most iconic season for The Walking Dead because that's kind of hard to say. Because season 3 had so many issues. They rushed through so much comic material and I don't know, just the characters and everything. It was kind of a bit of a mess, the whole Andrea thing. So there were some issues. Dan says, yeah, it's got the best cover as well. I love seeing Rick on the bus with the prison behind him. Yeah, I love that too, Dan. And I love the part where Rick is in his murder jacket and there's Carl and everyone at the train tracks. The season 5 one, I love that too. That's a good one. Epic says, plus I agree, Lily in season 1 looks exactly like Lily from the comics, looks just like her. Yes, thank you, Epic. I'm glad I'm not the only one who mentioned this. It's too much of a coincidence. Like, you're telling me there's two Lilies around the same age in a zombie apocalypse. Um, you know, they look the same, they act the same, they're both from the military, or like at least have some military experience. They both are in Georgia, and survived the outbreak at the beginning. Like, there's too many coincidences. And I don't believe in those, just it's too much. And honestly, Robert Kirkman, he made a mistake. Okay, he promised Telltale first, and then he gave the people of the novels the right. I'm sorry, but I think that Kirkman got a little greedy. I think that he wanted to make money, and he wasn't thinking straight, and he made a mistake. Like, this is what Lily in season 4. This Lily feels like the same Lily that kills Lori, Judith, and the governor in the comics. I mean, look what happened. Look what happened with Lily. She killed Mitch. She once a child killer, always a child killer. You know what I mean? I mean, plus it like the way Lily is like, she's even like, this should be easy. You know what I mean? Just this Lily feels like comic Lily, just so much. So yeah, I agree, Epic. Let's see. DeRosa says, what if the Walking Dead show didn't have Rick as the main lead, but instead they had a made-up character as a lead? That's hold on. Dang it, where am I? Oh, DeRosa, do you mean what if they went off the comics, or do you mean what if we didn't have Rick? What if we had someone like Joel? So like, do you mean like disregard the comics for the main character, or do you mean what if the comics never had Rick? What if it had a different lead? Like, I'm just curious what you mean by that. I mean, honestly, they kind of did that in the show. I mean, Daryl is in a way the main lead, and he's not even in the comics. Daryl's a made up character, so it's kind of like that, DeRosa. But the thing, what Rick works so well because he was a man looking for his family. He wanted to protect them, and that's who he was. Rick. He was sort of an every guy or every man, or But Glenn was, I think, even more so. You know what I mean? It's just, but Daryl, not so much. Dan says season 4 cover is great as well. Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. Epic says, I disagree. DeRosa season 1 is the most iconic. It's got the most iconic spreads, especially the highway. Yeah, that's true, Epic. The highway is very iconic. King Ken says they are Hershey's kids because Rick says you killed Hershey's daughters. I mean, okay, so yes, that's true, King Ken. But Herschel, Maggie, and Billy, they never once say they were family, and Rick didn't really know Herschel that well. You know what I mean? In the comic, not like in the show. I don't know. It feels off to me. You know what I mean? That Herschel had 7 kids. Were they his kids? Were they not his kids? Doesn't really matter to me too much. I'm just saying that there's a little bit of grayness because Herschel never once says that they were his daughters. You know what I mean? I feel like they might have been neighbors, like the neighbors' kids that he looked after. when his friends started becoming zombies. But as far as like blood, I don't know. I don't think they're. I just don't think they're blood. You know what I mean? Um, and DeRosa says facts. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It just feels off to me. Oh wait, sorry. Um, Sorry guys, I'm moving around constantly. I don't know what's going on. Dan says I love the cover art for season 8 with Rick screaming as well. Um, Honestly, I don't like that cover art, Dan. That might surprise you, but I don't like it. Dan says for me the most iconic is 2 and 5. Yeah, something like that, Dan. DeRosa says my favorite seasons are 4 and 5. And Dan says, me, it's 6, 9, but 5 is great as well. Yeah, the same. And King Ken says, the Lily from the show was so trash. Yes, I agree, King Ken. I get what they were trying to do. They said, hey, let's develop Lily. But I don't know. They just decided they made Lily more of a love interest instead of a character. You know what I mean? Like, she just didn't really feel like, I don't know, a real person, I suppose. And the way they killed her off was so terrible. Like, you just have Tara telling Glenn that, oh, she got swarmed and I heard a gunshot. And it's like, that's it? That's how you kill her off? You kill her off screen? Like, I feel like they should have did it exactly like the comics, somewhat. Or, yeah, they could have done something like the comics. You could have had Lily be a soldier, like Tara. Tara could have been like the show's version of Lily, or at least a character similar to her. And you could have had her see the governor as a monster and shoot him. But they literally only brought Lily in the show just to kill her off. Sure, the governor had a love interest, but I don't know, it just felt off to me. And DeRosa says facts. Wait, I moved again. What is going on? I'm sorry, guys. Man, this laptop, I don't know why, but I'm starting to hate it. Dan says, I don't like the actress as well either. Yeah, Dan, I agree. The actress for Lily just did not work so much. DeRosa says, which was the best Walking Dead battle? Ooh, that's tough, DeRosa. Do you mean best video game battle or best battle in the show? Because there's a lot, but Too Far Gone is really good. And let me think about this. Oh yeah, the season 6 episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet. I think that might be the best. Too Far Gone and Not Tomorrow Yet. They have the best battles in the show. Those are the top two. King Ken says Tara was honestly my favorite character. She was funny. Oh wow, King Ken, I didn't know that. Tara, she was great in season 4 and 5, but then season 6, 7, and 8, we just me and everyone else here just did not like her anymore. And in season 9, she started becoming really great again, and then they killed her off, and I was like, oh, okay. Should Tara have died sooner? Yeah, but she was still a decent character overall. Dan says the prison battle or the Terminus battle were my two favorites. Oh yeah, the Terminus battle. That's a good one too, Dan. But I think I like the Savior one, Not Tomorrow Yet, more. DeRosa says Daryl is so iconic now. Yeah, he is. He's very iconic. Dan says, yeah, Daryl has always been a fan favorite, rightfully so. Yeah, that's true, Dan. We need some more fan favorites, though. We have Dog, Connie. I guess Judith and Daryl are fan favorites, but Carol, I don't think she's a fan favorite anymore. We definitely need more of them. Let's see. Epic says that's one thing I don't get about the Walking Dead Telltale game is the prison and is in that universe. Oh wait, what is going on? Sorry guys, I lost your dang man. I hate this laptop. In the prison in the universe, but Maggie and her siblings aren't weird. Oh, you mean they're not around Epic? I'm confused by that. One thing I don't get at Telltale Games is the prison is in that universe, but Maggie and her siblings aren't weird. Yeah, I'm confused, Epic. We should have seen Maggie's and her siblings in the game. King Ken says you're right because he's like 60 and has 9 or 10-year-old daughters, but that happens in real life. It's not just that, King Ken. It's just, I don't know. It just feels, even in a zombie apocalypse story, like, also, if you see Herschel's house, like in the comic, there's just no way that he could have had 7 kids. I don't know. It just feels off to me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying, like, even like the daughters, like they didn't even establish how old they were. I don't know, it felt so off. Um, I don't know. Maggie also gets over their deaths fairly quickly, actually, pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That feels off to me. It didn't really feel like they were her sisters, if that was the case. Like they never called her sis. You know what I mean? DeRosa says Beth, Jadis, Merle, and Daryl are all made up characters. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. Beth, could she have been better? Oh yeah, definitely. Merle and Daryl, they were definitely in the top favorite characters. Um, oh wow, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I really have to end it. Epic says I hated season 4 of the show. It was too slow for me. I mean, I liked it, but I understand why it was somewhat slow. King Ken says Beth is girly Billy. Um, Honestly, King Ken, I disagree. I think Billy was way better in the comic than Beth was in the show. Honestly, I wish we had Billy instead of Beth on the show. I didn't hate Beth. I just think that Billy would have been much better and much more interesting than Beth. He definitely would have had more fans, I think. Dan says I didn't like Beth, but the rest are great. Yeah. What is going on? Man, I can't stand this thing. Dan says, I actually like season 4. It's so iconic now. Yeah, it is, Dan. DeRosa says, I'm thinking about just reading all the Walking Dead compendiums all at once. LOL. Oh, wow, DeRosa. That would be crazy. But yeah, let me know if you do it and how it goes. Dan says, it's definitely worth it. That's for sure. DeRosa says, the governor battle was amazing and well done. Yeah, it was very well done. So was Not Tomorrow Yet. Oh, Matt says, hey guys, I'm back. Dan says, hey man. Yeah, Matt, glad you came. We're gonna end the stream in about, you know what, 5 to 10 minutes. You guys want to do that? 5 to 10 minutes. I really have to end the stream. But yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. But my family is they're downstairs and I need to spend some time with them today, at least before I get ready and go to work tomorrow morning. So yeah, guys, hope you understand. Let's see. Epic says, like his house in the show, it makes sense for Herschel to have 7 kids. His house was huge in the show. Yeah, I agree, Epic. The farmhouse was huge in the show. In the comic, it was very small. And I can't believe they didn't do that in the show. We should have had Billy, at least more kids. Maggie should have had more siblings in the show. I don't know why they made it so much smaller. The family, you know? Dan says the farm lasted too long, though. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Dan. Epic says I collected The Walking Dead as paperback form, easier to read. Yeah, it's easier to read in the volumes instead of the compendiums. Matt says Shane made the farm season. I mean, somewhat. I kind of agree with that, Matt. I don't know if it was just him, though. Dan says, yeah, Shane made it so awesome. DeRosa says, who's the best character of each season? Oh, that's a good question, DeRosa. I would say like Rick, Glenn, and Daryl in season 1. Season 2, I would say let's see, Rick, Glenn, and there's someone else. I'm trying to think. I don't know, but those two. But then for season 4, I would say like Michonne started being there. And yeah, but Daryl sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, but I enjoyed a lot of characters. But as far as best character in each season, oh, that's tough. I mean, Glenn was my favorite pretty much throughout the whole show. So if I had to pick one character from each season, it would probably be Glenn for the first 6 seasons. Let's see. Dan says Rick in season 1. DeRosa says Shane in season 2. Epic says season 2 was like Shane's season. Huh, yeah, that's true, Epic. DeRosa says 3, the governor. I don't know. As far as like best character, he was definitely the best antagonist, but like best character, I don't know. Not really. I don't really rate antagonists as far as best characters because you kind of want them to die. You know what I mean? Dan says Rick in season 1, Shane in season 2, Merle in season 3. Yeah, I'm different, Dan. I'm more like Rick and Glenn, season 1, 2, 3, so on and so on. That's kind of more of me. Let's see. Matt says either Governor or Moral for season 3. Dan says Herschel in season 4. And then you say Rick again in season 5. Yeah, Rick was crazy in season 5. Um, Epic says, also, I wonder why those who appeared in the first season didn't mention Lee in the comics, like Glenn or Lily. Well, good question, Epic. But I think for Glenn, he probably didn't get to know him that long. He was only with them for a few days. Well, he only got to know Lee for a few hours. Um, and as far as Lily, she was attacking the prison, so she couldn't mention Lee. Obviously, she didn't know Lee. Season 6, either Abraham or Rick. Um, or for Matt. Yeah, they were great, but I really enjoyed Glenn in season 6. So you guys know me. I'm a, I loved Glenn, so, um, he was my favorite character pretty much throughout the whole show. Epic says, I hated Comic Governor. He was too over the top. Like, whoa, why are you so evil? Chill out. Yeah, I agree, Epic. When he kissed his niece as a zombie, that was too much. I'm like, Kurtman, what are you doing? Like he's infected now. Just stop. Dan says, definitely Abraham in season 6. DeRosa says, is there a Lee in the show universe? I don't think there is, DeRosa. I really don't think there is a Lee in the Walking Dead show because there just isn't. I mean, could you say that Morgan is kind of like Lee? Maybe, sort of, but he's also very different. Is Rick like Lee? I don't know. They're very different. I wish I could say DeRosa, but it doesn't look like it. It definitely doesn't look like it. I guess he's kind of similar to Aaron. Aaron from Alexandria. I guess he's like him. Why did I say he's from Alexandria? You know who Aaron is. Why did I say that? Sorry. Dan says Negan in season 7. Oh wow, Dan. I mean, I would definitely say Negan is not the best character in season 7, but okay. And then you say Rick in season 8. Let's see. DeRosa says, show Governor, you understood his reasons for doing things. Yeah, I agree, DeRosa. Comic Governor, you didn't understand a single thing he did. DeRosa says, you also say season 9. Oof, that's tough. Oh yeah, that is really tough. I don't know. Rick was great. So was Daryl. Dog and Connie were great, but they're minor characters, so you can't really say they're the best. I don't know. It's tough. Alpha was pretty good too, but she's a villain. You know what I mean? When I say a favorite character in the season, I want them to be a good guy, somewhat. Wait. Oh no, I already read those. Matt says season 8 is Simon. Season 8 Simon. Yeah, Simon was great in season 8, but as far as best character, I'm not sure. Dan says Daryl in season 9 and Negan in season 10. Yeah, something like that, Dan. Matt says season 9, either Daryl or Alpha. And Dan says all done, LOL. Yeah, Alpha was great. Epic says like TV Governor was more chill and laid back, which is better. Definitely him. And Matt is doing the crying emoji. DeRosa says comic Morgan was a disappointment. Yeah, I agree. DeRosa. Yeah, I agree. They definitely improved comic to TV Morgan as far as transition, but as far as like, I mean, did they overuse Morgan in the show? Kind of, but I mean, what can you do? And you say a show Morgan was a good character until Fear. Yeah, I would say until Fear he was a good character. But even in the main show, he was kind of struggling because he was either kill everyone or don't kill everyone. So he definitely needed to be fixed in the show. He wasn't perfect in the show either. And Dan says, yeah, Fear is destroying Morgan. I agree, Dan. And Matt says, Fear is ruining Dwight too. Yeah, I agree, Matt. Fear, when did they make Dwight a pacifist now? You know what I mean? Dwight was not a pacifist before. Morgan, you can make an excuse for it because he was a pacifist before. But Dwight? Why him? Dan says, and let's not forget Morgan. Sorry. I'm tired. Dan, you say, and let's not forget Daniel. LOL. Yeah, Daniel, he has killed over 100 survivors. How do you make him a pacifist? Just no. Did these writers even see season 3? No, they clearly didn't. I mean, just come on. DeRosa says, I actually liked Dwight. Epic says, comic and TV Morgan. both suck now. Fear ruined them. Yeah, that's true. Matt says, rip old Daniel. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Matt. Hopefully it'll improve, but I doubt it. DeRosa says, I only watch Fear for Morgan and Dwight. I only watch it for Alicia. And but yeah, I understand. And Matt agrees. Let's see. All right, guys. It's I gotta end the stream now. Thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. You know, King Ken, Matt, Epic, Dan. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. For almost 2 hours now, and sorry you had to listen to me. Make mistakes and mumble when I'm talking. But unfortunately, that's how I do it a lot of times. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. But I have to end the stream. It's getting late, and I gotta spend some time with my family and get ready for tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I definitely and I haven't forgotten. I will make DeRosa a moderator as soon as I hit 40 subscribers, and I will write down to do a shout out and a top 10 favorite characters, video for you guys. I definitely want to get to that. Let's see. Dan says I watch it for Alicia first, then Morgan and Dwight after. Yeah, something like that, Dan. And John's pretty good too as a character. DeRosa says the actor for Morgan is a perfect choice. Oh, absolutely, DeRosa. Dan says Lenny is awesome. Yeah, he's got a lot of charisma. Just needs better writing. Matt says, yeah, Lenny is great. Dang it, stupid laptop. Epic says, funny, you want to make a character a pacifist, send them to Fear. Yeah, exactly, Epic. Dan says, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you, Dan, for stopping by. And you're very welcome. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll have to write it down, the video idea, so I don't forget. Matt says, ciao, Brian. Yeah. Bye, Matt. I really appreciate it. You coming back, and I'm sorry I have to end it, but I'm really hot, and I gotta get some sleep and stuff, and do some stuff before I go to bed. You guys take it easy too. Be safe. Oh yeah, and you say take it easy, guys. Yeah, thanks, Matt. You too. Let's see. All right, Dan says, good night, everybody. Yeah, good night, Dan. Thank you. Oh, and Epic, thank you for reminding me. You say, when's the next stream, bro? It's probably going to be next Wednesday, so in 8 days from now. Let's see, is that going to be, let me check something real quick. Oh, wow, I think that's going to be the 1st. July 1st? That might be July 1st, yeah. It's probably going to be July 1st, yeah. We're going to talk about episode 3 of the season 4 Telltale game and other things you guys want to talk about. So yeah, hopefully in 8 days. Epic says, can I be mod to Brian? Yeah, Epic, I can make you a moderator too. But I promised DeRosa first. So you'll have to be second. If I can do seconds, which hopefully I can. And DeRosa says, ciao. Yeah, thanks DeRosa for stopping by. Thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, be safe and take care. Bye.